Hey, family. Welcome to another Morning Coffee Devotions. My name is Brandon, and I'm your host. Today's devotion is titled Greater Than. God's plan is greater than my plan. I am at this place in my life where the plan that God is showing me is not the plan that I desire. It's not the plan that I laid out. But I know that if I follow His plan, that it's going to work out. Proverbs 16:9, the NLT. We can make our plans, but the Lord determines our steps. God sees our desires, He sees our wants, and He knows all of our needs, but He also knows everything that's going to happen in our life from beginning to end. And He has a plan for it to work out for the best, for His purpose and for ours. When we see examples of people like Abraham, Isaac, and Moses and David and all these people, all these men and women of great faith, we read and we're like, yeah, that's awesome. But then when it hits us, it's like, ooh, this is different. We feel it. It's not something we're reading on a page. And as I was preparing for this week, God brought me to Genesis 22, verses 9 through 12 of the NLT. And it says, when they arrived at the place where God had told him to go, Abraham built an altar and arranged the wood on it. He then tied his son Isaac and laid him on the altar on top of the wood. And Abraham picked up the knife to kill his son as a sacrifice. At that moment, the angel of the Lord called to him from heaven, Abraham, Abraham. Yes, Abraham replied, here I am. Don't lay a hand on the boy, the angel said. Do not hurt him in any way, for I now know that you truly fear God. You have not withheld from me even your one and only son. If you're a parent or if you're an aspiring parent, chances are I don't think you're like signing up to sacrifice your child. It's the absolute last thing on your mind. And we read it and we're like, man, look at him do this. Yay, awesome, go Abraham. But what we don't see and what we don't really feel is the emotions involved in it. I am sure he wasn't skipping up towards this place to sacrifice his son like, yay, let's do this. I'm sure he had a lot going through his mind. This is his promised son that he's waited forever, that he's waited till he's old, 99, 100 something years old. And now God's like, okay, sacrifice him. That wasn't in Abraham's plan. It wasn't like, okay, yeah, sacrifice my son, check, okay, cool. It wasn't in his plan. And he didn't sacrifice him because the Lord stopped him, but it wasn't anywhere on his radar. But God told him to do it. And somewhere within him, through all the emotions, because he's human, Abraham was human. He wasn't just this, he was human. So I'm sure there were emotions, but through all of that, he filtered down. He's like, God's telling me to do this. The Lord is telling me to do this. And in spite of how I feel, in spite of what I want, I'm going to do this. God wants us to trust Him. In spite of how the layout of the plan He set before us looks. He may have made some tweaks and changes to your life where you're like, yo, this ain't cool, God. This ain't right. Or He may have allowed some changes to take place. And you're like, God, what are you doing? Where are you leading me? And He doesn't reveal everything. He gives us tidbits of it. And we're like, God, can you stop feeding me breadcrumbs here and give me something? But He's like, no, just here, do this. Step one. And just like Abraham, when he trusted God, and God said, leave your people. Abraham said, okay, I'm going to do it. And then here in Genesis chapter 22, God said, okay, lay your son on the altar. And this is one thing God provided, the ram in the bush, and they sacrificed that. But Abraham was willing to go the distance because he trusted God. He knew, he's like, okay, this God has never failed me. Even though I don't want to do this, I'm going to do it. I'm going through with what He's explaining, telling me to do. And I am not sitting here, I don't know what God has planned for my life. All of it. He's giving me tidbits, but I'm going to walk out these steps that He's giving me to do. Whatever step that God is telling you to do, just do it, because He's never failed. He's never let me down. And it hasn't always appeared exactly as I thought it would, but it's always benefited for my good. It's always worked out to where I'm like, wow, God. And I've looked back and I'm like, you really came through. And it's in these seasons that we need to look back and be like, okay, God got me through that. He sheltered me from this. So He's going to get me through this season. Much love. God bless. Be Sawyer.